Hey, what's going on? It's Pi, and I just want to show you a little bit of what's happening on p3d in regards to my Team Fortress 2 models. So you can see that I've made a few. I've made a little over 90 something. It says 102 here, but there are blue and red versions of a couple models, and I even have a textured version of the dispenser. Now, I decided that I'd go through and kind of highlight some of my favorites of these. And so I guess I'm going to start with the bottom then. And I'm going to go with the Keelung Heater. Now, this was kind of the thing that brought me back in the summer of 2013. I had basically stopped modeling altogether, and then I made this, and it kind of just led to 20 at least more models throughout the rest of the summer. So it sort of has a special place in my heart. And then come beyond here, you got your sentries. You got level 2 is personally my favorite. I think it's you know, a little bit better than level 3 because I don't know, level 3 just seems too frail almost. I don't know, that's just my opinion. So we can head on over. I'm going to skip the Brass Beast, and I'm going to go to Dispenser Level 3. I like the Dispenser Level 3 because it has so much going on. It's got the ammunition down at the bottom and the medical supplies in the middle. Interesting fact that I have repeatedly told people, but the Dispenser Level 2 doesn't have the spigots on it that the Dispenser Level 3 and even the Dispenser Level 1 has. Now, in TF2, the Dispenser Level 2 is supposed to have those spigots, but it doesn't. And to be true to the game, I didn't model those on. Whenever they fix that, I will gladly fix it on my own model. Alright, so after dispenser, let's see. I'd say the Bushwhack is pretty cool. It's got the curve on it that just looks interesting. This is another one. This is probably one of my favorite melee weapons. So after that, Force of Nature is pretty interesting geometrically. It's very short and blocky. So the purpose of this is sort of to build up some hype about this TF2 mod. As you can see, there are quite a few models. The flare gun's very interesting. One reason that I think this is cool is because I know a lot of other modelers have made flare guns. I know Rusty's made a really good flare gun, and I know Captain Crazy made a very blocky one. And so this is kind of my take on the Team Fortress 2 Classic, and also to some extent Blockland Classic of the flare gun. Alright, so minigun, pretty standard. Power jack, that's a very old model from when I did basically the first round of this. By the way, I would classify this as round 3 because there have been 3 times where I've really made TF2 models. Alright, so here's the reserve shooter. It's a modification of the original shotgun. Very interesting color choice because it's really supposed to be darker, but when you combine that light green and that tan, it's, I don't know, I think it's just very appealing of a color choice. Alright, so you got the Huntsman. Now the Huntsman is interesting because there has been a Huntsman mod already made, a Huntsman add-on already made, but it didn't really look much like the Huntsman, and, you know, I had never really wanted to make the Huntsman because I'm like, oh, bows are very difficult to make. They just, really the thing that bothered me was the bending mechanic. You know, that doesn't seem like that would work out very well. So I didn't want to do it, but then a couple days ago I took the plunge and made it, and I think from afar it really looks like the Huntsman from the game. I'm not entirely sure how I want to make it bend, or if I just want to have the string sort of pull back and not really bend the bow itself. I'm pretty much undecided on that. And then something I made the same day as the bow was the winger. I think the winger is very cute looking, sort of, with its small, short, childlike proportions. Very odd way to describe a gun. I textured the dispenser here, you can see. Alright, so since I talked about the Keelung Heater, I'm gonna have to talk about the memory maker. So the memory maker is basically my third wave of TF2 modeling. Because I made this, and then I decided I would go ahead and make the Fan of War, then the Iron Curtain, then Natasha, then I fixed the Keelung Heater, then I textured my bonk, then I made the PDA, then the Enforcer, Winger, Huntsman, Degreaser, Rescue Ranger, Teleporter, Loose Cannon, Lock and Load, Short Circuit. That's all I have up to now. Sniper rifle is interesting, but what's rather annoying, I think, is the shortstop. The shortstop, a model for it already exists. I didn't really like it that much, so I tried to make my own, and, you know, this bit right here on the real model is just kind of awkward. I think it's interesting that they added that, because it doesn't really seem to fit. Anyway, this has already gone on too long, but the last one I want to talk about is the loose cannon. Loose cannon I made just today, and I had tried a couple previous times to make this, but with no success. And then I started working for it today, and I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. After I made that, I decided, you know what, I'll just go for it and make the lock and load. Anyway, this has been a update, and I encourage you to take a look at all of these models. It's p3d.in/u/pythecause, and you can check these out.